Chronic pain. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you're either experiencing chronic pain right now, you've had it in the past, or you have a friend or a loved one that's experiencing chronic pain or has also possibly had it in the past. Now, some would say that pain, to a certain extent, is actually good. That our body has a language, and if we understand our body language, pain can actually help us treat what's going on. Now, if you're experiencing chronic pain right now, that's pain that lasts more than 3 to 6 months, or your back or neck has gone out for the 10th time in the last 5 years, and your life revolves around pain, then you would probably not say that pain is good. Most likely, you'd say that pain sucks. Now, I understand this because for a while, my life revolved around chronic pain. Now, many of you know me as the mindset guy, but some of you also know that I've been a physical therapist for the past 26 years. So today I want to talk to you about some great tips for fighting chronic pain, or what to do when the pain returns. You see, I wasn't kidding when I said my life revolved around pain. And it's not just because I'm a physical therapist and I treat patients with pain all the time. It's because about 26 years ago, when I first became a physical therapist, I was involved in a life-threatening car accident. And it resulted in chronic pain that I had for 7 years. I shattered my right leg in 8 places. I fractured my back. I had emergency surgery after they helicoptered me to a local trauma hospital. I had 2 long rods, 4 cables, 6 screws, and a plate. I didn't walk for 6 months. I was out of work for a year. And this resulted in 7 years of chronic pain. Now, many of you know that if you've had chronic pain and you go to the doctor and the doctor throws your x-ray up on the wall and says, wow, we did a great job, and that's nothing to say against the doctors because they did do a great job with me. My fractures were healed. But what do you do when you still have chronic pain? Or if you have chronic pain from some other syndrome that you have going on? The doctor at that point usually refers you to pain management, where they can give you injections or different forms of medication, and then you have to deal with it from then on in that aspect and manage your pain. So I'm going to use a quote from one of my favorite movies, The Princess Bride. Now, I could use the quote, "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." But that would have nothing to do with this blog right now. So I will use the quote from Prince Wesley, where he says, "Life is pain, Highness. Anybody who says differently is selling something." Now, to a certain respect, that's true. And the reason I say that is because we all have pain sometimes in our lives. You'll never go through life not having any pain at all. Whether it's physical or emotional trauma, we have pain in our lives. And there's going to be pain in our lives. There's been pain in the past, and most likely there will be pain in the future. Again, whether it's emotional or physical pain or trauma. The question is how do we respond to this trauma? How do we respond to this pain? Now, being the mindset guy, I'm going to talk about some things that you can do to reframe your thought patterns and reframe your mindset so that you can move forward despite your chronic pain and fight against the chronic pain, or what to do when the pain returns. Now, one of my patients and I were having a discussion about this the other day. And we had talked about the chronic pain that she had had in the past and that I had had in the past, and also a recent flare-up that we had both had. I had talked to her about the flare-up of my back, where my back went out about 3 months ago, and why that happened. And we talked about how when I first had chronic pain, and I had that pain for 7 years after my accident, that I had lost sight of the possibility of feeling better. My mind was back on the trauma of what I went through at my car accident, and I was also worried about a future of always having chronic pain and always having problems with the different orthopedic issues that I had had in my right leg and my low back. And was I always going to have pain? And why did this happen to me, and what I went through with my accident? And we had talked about how I had gone to the next level as far as reframing my mindset. And for me, how it made a huge difference for me and allowed me to move forward once I let the trauma of my car accident go. I didn't forget about it. It happened. But I accepted the fact that it happened to me, and it allowed me to move on. And we talked about how when I was able to do that, it allowed me to set new goals and to concentrate on the solutions of getting better and becoming well rather than focusing on the pain and the problems that I were going through. So you've heard me say this before, that when you focus on pain and problems, what do you get more of? You get more pain and problems. You see, when we have chronic pain or we have a flare-up of pain, whatever it may be from, there's a tendency when we've been in this situation before to catastrophize, to say, oh no, here we go again. I've been down this road. I already know that I'm going to be in pain for the next, whatever, 3 months or 6 months or 2 years. Why did this happen to me? Am I going to always have pain in the future? Rather than to reframe your thoughts and to say, okay, this happened to me because of this, this, and this. So when I had a flare-up 3 months ago and my back went out, and this is also after having chronic pain for 7 to 10 years and getting past that, when I had this flare-up and my back went out, it had because it was a number of things that I had done over a month that just kept putting layers and layers of more tightness and restrictions and reasons for me to be set up for something to happen. So then when I bent over to pick something up, boom, my back went out. Now there's a tendency to catastrophize right in that moment, to be like, oh no. Now it's okay to get upset. Your back has just gone out, your neck has gone out, you had a trauma to your system, whether it's emotional or physical. It's okay to recognize the problem. It's okay to be upset for a day, a week. When this just recently happened to me, I had trouble walking for about 3 to 5 days. I started getting tingling and radiating pain down my leg. For some of you, you know that could be a herniated disc. But being in the field, it also helped me to objectify, okay, this is what's going on. So what you need to reframe your thoughts with is to change your thought patterns from, oh my goodness, this happened to me. What am I going to do? I'm going to be in pain all this time. What about my job? What about my future? It all happened when this happened. It's to then recognize the problem that is at hand and to say, I'm going to focus on the solution. I'm going to put all my power, all my concentration to getting well, to research how to get well. What doctors do I see? Now, I'm not negating any conventional therapies and just saying, oh, reframe your thoughts and everything will be fine. No, it's focusing on reframing your thoughts so you can figure out the solution. Whether that means taking a certain medication for an amount of time, whether it's an anti-inflammatory or a pain medicine or a muscle relaxer, if it's appropriate. It means getting treatment, whether it's from a physical therapist, a massage therapist, acupuncture. It's getting the right diagnostic test to see what's going on so you can objectively analyze what's happening in your body. But after you recognize the problem and figure out what it is, then it's to focus all your concentration on the solution. Because if you focus on solutions, then your mind will start to go to work on, what do I have to do to progress forward? Now, if you have a diagnosis of a condition that's chronic in nature and progressive or degenerative in nature, those things happen. But then it's figuring out, how do I move on? How do I progress forward despite what's going on with me? So that I don't give up. So that I do everything in my power to move forward and progress in relationship to the goals that I have set for myself. And that's another thing, because once you recognize the problem and you decide and make the choice that you're going to focus on the solution and not the pain and not the problem, that you then get clarity about what you want. Because once you get clarity about what you want and what your goals are, then your mind and your body can move forward to progressing towards those goals. So if you're having a tough time, if you're going through chronic pain right now, or you're going through a flare-up of a condition that you've had, and this is the 5th flare-up in the last 2 years, I want you to try something different. I want you to focus on reframing your thoughts and reframing your mindset. Again, recognize the problem, know that it's there. Again, it's okay if you get upset or mad or angry about a certain diagnosis or a condition that you had or something that's happened in your life, whether it's an emotional or physical trauma. Recognize that problem. But then focus on the solutions. Focus on moving forward. Focus on whatever it is that you need to do to move forward towards the goals that you have set for yourself. And if you haven't set goals for yourself, this is the time to do it. I promise once you start reframing your mindset and reframing your thoughts to focus on the solutions to your challenges and what you want, you will start to see differences. You will start to see positive change. For me and many people I've worked with, once you reframe your thoughts, once you enhance or improve your mindset, you'll start to see tremendous differences in your life. Well, I hope this information helped you out. If you're seeing this video anywhere other than my blog, go check my blog out at awakenyourwellnessnow.com. Have a great day, and as always, be positive, be focused, and be well.